Titans hired their GM, former Chiefs assistant GM, Mike Gorganzi. I think I got that one. Gorganzi. Sorry, all my Italian friends out there. And also hired John Fassel as special teams coordinator. Bones, who has been a kind of a legendary special teams coach in the NFL. And because of the Dallas's mess, was able to hit the market and it wasn't on the market long. So Titans hiring a new GM. Matt, thoughts on that?
I just think it's interesting. Like this is the one hire I think GM wise that's already happened. I don't think we have any other GM hires, and like nobody seems to care. I think because mostly it's the Titans, but also like this is the number one. This is a team that's going to pick number one. The Chiefs have a decent bit of free agents that are going to hit the market, and there's at least some thought that he could potentially. It could, court a few guys over there. Not that I think they need to be big spenders. They were big spenders last offseason, and that didn't really result in a lot of wins. Obviously, they're picking first in the damn draft, but this is a big offseason for the Titans. It's a big offseason for Brian Callahan, who I didn't love year one. I didn't really love year one. So I thought like getting an assistant GM from the Chiefs, and he's been in multiple roles. So that's good to see. Like a lot of experience doing different things. That's good. Need that because it just seemed like, and I don't know. I mean, is Brian Callahan going to be aligned with the GM? We'll see. That building seems like kind of a mess, but I did think the Fossil hire was at least a kind of a decent get because, like I said, I thought there was a chance that they might just rip that whole thing apart in Tennessee. If like, all right, we're going to fire Rand Carthon, let's go ahead and fire Brian Callahan. But the Titans seem like a mess, like I said. So for Brian Callahan to get Fossil, who a lot of experience, like you said, kind of a legendary coach. They still have Bill Callahan on staff. There's at least something to maybe squint at there, but I do come away pretty discouraged from the 2024 season with this team.
Yeah, there's parts of the season I was like, oh, okay, I like this. And then, yeah, like you said, it just kind of fell apart. Even like their defensive line. As I was looking something up, Vrabel is interviewing Terrell Williams from the Lions as their defense coordinator, reported an hour ago. Wow, I didn't even know that. I just kind of threw that name out there. But Denard Wilson was defensive coordinator. I thought that they kind of dropped off a little bit, but they were tough a little bit, or for the first half of the season, depending on injuries and stuff. But it is kind of they have some of the toughest spots filled. Like they have the offensive line coach, like a legendary offensive line coach. Now they have a legendary special teams coach. I actually think the D coordinator is not bad. So it's like they got a lot of nice stuff set up here. They got pieces that a lot of teams would have really liked. They just don't have a quarterback, and we're not sure. And the offense was sloppy. The special teams was atrocious last year. So thank God that's why they went from. I don't even have to look it up. I mean, I guess that they're 32nd in DVOA on special teams last year. I could probably guess at least 30th. They're terrible. But now getting a guy that no matter where he's been has had some great fakes when Fossil was the head. Special teams coach with the Rams. They had some great fakes there. Like he's just a guy. He was the first special teams coach I know that wore a headset, which always stood out to me. No, special team coaches used to not wear headsets. That's something I always believe in. But they got another quarterback. Like you said, they got the number one pick. Last time they had this, they trade out of it in the Laramie Tunsil gas mask, Jared Goff year. I think that maybe they're in the Sam Darnold sweepstakes. Like maybe they've got a lot of options for the new GM to kind of figure out. So Titans are an interesting team. They really are because they're not the defense. I think could be good. Like they got a good line coach. Like they could, if they nail a quarterback, a lot of teams could say this. It's like they could be at least interesting as opposed to just outright number one pick bad. Like they could be interesting very quickly if they nail the right things.
Is there any of these guys in this draft? And like, I know we've got a long time to talk about this, but as you know, I have, and I'm sure you might already be talked out about this. I don't know. As you know, I do not pay attention to like prospects or college football during the season at all, but I mean, you've told me this. A lot of people have said it's not supposed to be a good quarterback class. Is there any of these guys that if they took them number one overall, you wouldn't just completely puke on your shoes and, you wouldn't be completely disgusted? Because like, to me, I'm imagining they're going to take one first overall because it's just how it goes.
Cam Ward is the only one I can squint and make an argument for taking in the top 10. But it's like, the thing is I have him graded kind of equivalent to like JJ McCarthy last year, which is like, oh yeah, I guess I know McCarthy went early, but it was like, that kind of late first, like comfortably, I wouldn't take him till past pick 25, in a normal draft. But that's what this draft is. And quarterbacks are quarterbacks. Quarterbacks, yeah, I want to give him at 25, half round inflation. He ends up in the early teens. No quarterbacks in this class. Well, then you jump up another 10 spots. That's kind of just how it breaks down. That's the only guy. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is one I'd be comfortable taking number 1 overall, and just where the Titans are at right now too. But Cam always shows some things, and even someone else said this, which kind of disappoints me. He has some shades of Steve McNair. So like that would maybe sell the Titans fans. Like, hey, we got Steve McNair Jr. here, maybe with that, but he would be the only one. But like for the Titans, I'll be like, I would almost rather sniff Darnold than maybe take a bet on these guys. But it's so you have to pay Darnold. So like no matter what you're committing to and not, yeah, they're all leaky life rafts. And then it's just which one you want to hop onto. So yeah, Cam Ward would be the only one I'm really comfortable. And I know quarterbacks are going to get boosted up, but he's the only one. And even that's kind of like a little dicey to me. Have fun with that. Anyone that wants to take him. But I'd like them to trade back a little bit and figure it out from there and maybe go down the Darnold path. But again, that's still like scary, because it's Darnold outside of that ecosystem in Minnesota. So that's scary as well. So yeah. Not fun, but he's gonna have some
rosy picture. Good luck, Mike.
He's gonna earn his money next few months. Yeah, I know. At least the owner is very patient.
Totally. So it seems.
Totally, and totally has a lot of long-term vision on a lot of things.